Hey, you doing? Hello, BS Discover. Hey, what you discover? You discover anything while we were gone? Guess what I discovered? Whew. I just got out of my bed. Literally just got out of my bed. Was about to make breakfast, but I said, no. I gotta tell what I wanted to tell yesterday. Because there was so much I was doing yesterday and preparing for. But this one, they say chosen. Oh, you don't have to prepare for this one because you already know. And I'm talking about that big word, fear. Now, why I'm bringing this subject up? Because a lot of people will think you are in fear, depending upon the situation. First of all, this is not a channel that gives you any type of professional therapy or professional way of making money. Financial means this is not a banking channel or anything. However, this is a person on a channel who has been able to survive financially and also able to survive so many means. And the mean of what we're going to talk about, the first topic that I want to speak today, my first topic today is fear. Many would think that you are in fear. It depends upon the situation, how you handle the situation, and how you handle reviewing the situation. Because you have to review the situation at the end to know whether you're safe, right? So, what is fear? Fear in ourselves is when the body itself has a response to something that could be traumatic to you, or fear could be something that is traumatic to others. Now, when I say that, for you, this is fear. Let's say I'm a new teacher. I'm going to the class my first day. Feeling a little fearful because I've heard of this high school and I heard of all the kids in there, and the kids don't respect the teachers, and I gotta be careful. Fear. That is fear which is not instilled in you, because that's a momentary fear. You can have momentary fears, which means at a point in my life, something occurred which caused a chain of reaction. It caused me to feel fearful against whatever situation is before me or coming towards me. So therefore, in that circumstance, that is fear. For you. Another fearful for others. That's your circumstance. But what about others? What about their fears? What about them fearing you? Because they don't know you. And they heard things about you that could be true or not true. So they looking at you in fear. What is fear? How do you overcome fear? Is fear something that is normal? Is it a normal reaction that happens with people? Yes, it is. Being fearful? Listen, you're about ready to buy that house. It's a different kind of fear. All kinds of fear. Not anxiety, but fear. Sometimes people be in fear when they're ready to purchase a car, a house, because the fear part is, okay, I'm gonna purchase this house, but then what I gotta deal with? if it's a neighborhood, I gotta be careful about the fear of moving in that neighborhood. And then all the people in the neighborhood, now we're going around the others, because I'd be fearful of you, because you could be somebody they heard something about coming into the neighborhood. So there's fear. But they heard about, which in other words is rumors. So they fearing you, you fearing them. Their reaction to you is going to be a little off, because they're trying to find out, is this true? So they're fearing you at the same time, because they don't know what to expect. But at the same time, you are fearing them, not in the fear of, I'm scared, I got a high fear. We're going to get there too. But the fear that, okay, I'm going to touch upon it. And I'm going to let you know, this little fear is the fear of not understanding. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand. When you don't know something, you can't understand it because you don't know. Do you get the drift? So, we're getting back to the fear. So I was fearful. They were fearful of me because of what they heard. And sometimes you try to combat by trying to let others know, no, that's not true. But people will still believe. And it is people trying to make you look some type of way. Yeah, they're fearing you because of what they heard to be untrue. And the fear is not fearful that you may hurt them. The fearful is that I don't want to be with you. Because something fearful may happen. Yet you're not that individual. Yet the enemy is making them think so. Have you been there? Have you gotten that type of fear? Just that touchy fear. Then is that other fear that we learn about. Like the reason I'm here right now. Because I was going to give this talk, but I'm glad I didn't get this topic so soon, because I heard another YouTuber talk about fear. But I say, wow, it's amazing how we all examine one word a different way. But it goes through your experiences. Now, I'm talking about a touch of not knowing somebody, a touch of fear. But then you can have somebody who got their hand on fear all over you. Which means, like, let's say you're at work and somebody attack you. Somebody's saying some things about you. Somebody saying, I'm going to meet you after work, or I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to make you lose your job and whatnot. So you begin to get that fear, that over fear. Because now you're not touching me. Now, see, to touch is like observing, seeing a person being in fear. But that overall fear is when a person can actually put a hand on you, or get somebody else to put a hand on you, or just rumors itself can hurt you. Rumors itself could bring people to have fear in you, and then it puts fear in you because now they are attacking you. They're attacking you at work. They're attacking you when you're outside. And it's not them. It's like everybody, and you're looking around and you're saying, it can't be something I'm doing. It got to be somebody saying something about me. They're putting fear in his people, and it gets fear in you. But let me know you. Be aware of fear and understanding. Now, see, people don't understand, but when you have understanding, I have understanding. I'm smart enough to know. Like, I had a situation, got a situation going on now where you have to watch people, because people ready to set you up in situations. They don't want to see you get nowhere. But if I could put fear in people and have them fear you overall, then I have damaged the step you can make in life. And that's what people do. You're at work. Somebody saying, I'm going to cause you to lose your job. Then you lose your job. Then you go to the next job. Everything is fine. Everybody is working. There's no problem. There's one person coming here, like the last job. And that one person is targeting you. But you already have fear, that overall fear, not that touch fear. It's different when they could touch fear, because touch fear, you don't affect me. But now you're talking about my finances. You're talking about my money. So that person is putting fear in you in that way, because that person know they got power. Either they working in a family restaurant, or they know somebody that's going to cover everything they say about you. Because this person don't like you, and they don't like you too. Listen, you the lower man. They want the man who got the money to come up first. But God is saying, I ain't worried about that man with that money. That man got money already. I'm trying to bring you up. And don't you be in fear. So, as they continue to do these things, you're like, wait, I lost this job. That ain't no way. So you start to think about it. You start to pick up your phone and say, what could it be? Did I do something? Did I leave something? Did somebody not? What could it be? And then you start to think. I'm lucky because I've done counseling for years. So I know the community, and I know each sector in the community brings something to the community. Who is bringing that to me? And you begin to ask that question. And you begin to ask yourself that question. Y'all know what I mean. And then I start to pay attention. I say, wait up, it gotta be either somebody I knew in the past, who got some people behind them trying to destroy me, or I gotta be somebody who is just my competition. So they put fear in you. Now you lost this job, that job, because of them, because they're lying on you. And trust me, God has shown me a person can lie on you and you can lose your job. And they don't even have the experience, no job experience. But guess what? They know the boss, or they know somebody there that said a little bees in somebody's ear, and the boss is so fearful to find out for themselves, because I have to see me. I'm an individual. I don't care what somebody say about somebody. I got to see for myself. I'm not going to stalk them or anything. Do you understand? Because knowledge is power, and the power is going to come. Knowledge is power, and the power is going to come. Why? Because I ain't stalking them. I ain't doing nothing that could come back on me. But I know that if it's a community, you got the professionals in the community, you got the gangsters in the community, depends on where you live, and you got the non-gangsters and the non-professionals. You got 4 categories of people. I'm not narrow everybody down. We ain't gonna put too much. Now, the non-professionals, what are they doing all day? Probably nothing. Professional people probably going to work, doing what they got to do, making things happen. But what do you want to be when it comes to the fear? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy who is able to come back, to teach, to get over? Fear could be instilled. Be careful. somebody could tell you, like, I'm old school, so I come from the parents. Our parents in the old days, remember the old saying? First, let me say parental advisory, just in case kids are watching. But kiss a boy, you get pregnant. Now, how many girls, when they were young, kiss a boy, you get pregnant? I don't know what my mama talking about. Kiss your first, that's my first boyfriend. And a lot of them had babies, baby boomers. Kiss a boy, you get pregnant. You know why? Because we didn't get the understanding. We know what it is physically, mentally, but emotionally we wasn't there. Physically and mentally. Because mentally I could see you kissing someone. But the understanding is what you don't get that happens after you kiss him. See, mama ain't tell you all the other stuff. Then you'll start to hug, you know what I'm saying, rub. And who knows? But I tell you one thing. Don't get lost in the fear. Did you see how quick that was? Did you get the understanding? What I mean when they don't have understanding? I'm fearful. Now she's scared to kiss a boy because she got pregnant. She said, oh, she ain't going to get pregnant that quick the second time. Now, am I lying, ladies? It take one time to learn. Because you learned, you know, knowledge. And it comes the same with fear. There's two kinds of fear. There's that touch fear. They can say anything, but it doesn't affect me. They just fear me. I fear them, that's it. But it doesn't stop me from doing things. But it makes me watch them even more. It makes them watch me even more. But the fear that will stop you from doing things is that overall. What I say, she went to work, lost her job. Now she can't do, or he can't do what he got to do financially. But don't be in fear. Because I am one to prove if you was on a journey like that, don't become fearful. You already knew that doors were open. Doors had to been open for you. Because in that fight, God ain't going to leave you out there alone. Not like a chosen one. He ain't going to leave you out there like that. He going to make something happen. And then you're back probably in the same position again. But it's not the same. Why? Because you was prepared. You're not in fear this time. You prepared yourself mentally and emotionally. And physically, you made sure you was fit. But emotionally, you didn't break down. Mentally, you got yourself together. You made a plan. And you followed that plan. And if that plan didn't work, you went to plan A, B, and C. And if C didn't work, then guess what? I got to look back at them set of peoples and see what is going on. Because that's when the fear comes in. It ain't you who's causing issues for you. It's them. It's competition. Anything new to something old is always competition. They was already up and running. They don't know the new alignment. They don't know the new information God has given you and wants you to drill away with. They don't know. So they're trying to shut you down. Damn, if they could shut you down, then nobody else will ever know. So you got to be strong. If you believe and know you are right, and they are wrong about you, what fear do you have? Let me tell you, there was something that happened to a girl in her town, and I learned from that. And nobody believed her. And she took her phone and she went on a rampage with it. I mean, everything that happened, she just put it up. She put it up on Facebook, put it up on Twitter. She just put it up. Put it up. Everything. And eventually, somebody listened. The right person listened. And that young girl, 14 years old, was able to get justice. She was in a situation that was very fearful. Listen to me about fear. They got to get on you. They got to be around you. Do you understand? They was around her. But she knew she had to get out of the situation. But if I'm in fear, I'm not thinking. My emotions are mostly up of fear. But mentally, I'm not trying to put a plan together when I've got too much fear going on. But if you take your time and you do as she did, she went straight out there to social media. She went straight out there to she went to court. She went to her church, and she had something against somebody in her church, but they wouldn't believe her because she was young. Do you understand? And it had to do against a family member. And she was determined, and you know how it is with family. When you fighting family and invading some organization, you're not just fighting them, you're fighting with the organization too. And she was fighting with the organization against a family member. But she was able to prove what happened to her. And could you imagine how the mother felt? Could you imagine what it did to the family? How did the people treat her in the end? Did they treat her the same? Did they do her the same once the truth was known about this person? It can happen. People can still treat you the same. That's why I be like, tell people every time. I got nothing against the Bible or anything, but it is a book. And don't use it for destruction. A lot of people hide behind it. Put that to the side and let the man handle what he has to handle. He did something wrong. And eventually, it happened for this girl. Eventually, she made the whole organization look bad. Because they wanted to protect this man who was doing this girl wrong. So, when I read this, I was shocked because I've done counseling before, and as counselors, ex-counselors, we're always in the film of trying to make a film to get better. Do you understand? Because we never know who you're going to run into, who needs information about what's going on out here. When people do surveys in the community before they open up a business, and that's something most communities, service businesses should do, is a survey maybe once every. Don't get the unprofessionals to fill them out. We're gonna be in trouble. They stay outside on the corner in front of. No, we don't need that. We need an equal level. Do you understand? And we're gonna put one sheet here and one sheet there. The bad pal, the good pal. What's good about this community? What's bad about this community? And then a lot of you can get over your fears. Because the fear has to start with the community. Because if I'm not accepted because of what you heard about me, but you're not even professional, even though you call me unprofessional, not understanding the young girl had to be unprofessional and going out in public because they had her behind closed doors. And that was a subject I had last time about being behind closed doors. When I'm in an organization, that organization going to watch out for each other. Even some people who hold up the book. It's job first. It's loyalty first. Even though I know my boss is wrong. They go with loyalty because they want the paycheck. Yet, I have met many people who have left jobs. I met doctors before. Last time we had a recession, I worked in a restaurant. And we had a doctor that worked there. But he didn't stay too long. I think it was McDonald's at the time. But he didn't stay too long. It was over there. Let me see. I'm in Florida. It was at Normandy. Yeah, it was on Normandy at the time. And Jacksonville, Normandy. Duval, come by. But yeah, it was there at the time. And he left. But we had a recession. And a lot of professional people was going to fast food jobs, but he didn't stay. And he's a doctor. And you know how them people treated him? Like, oh, you're a doctor, how could you work here? He wasn't thinking that. He's in a recession. He had to make money to keep his family afloat. All those other questions was none of their business. So they put a slight fear in him of him feeling some type of way about him working someplace, so he left. Get over the fear. It's the community. You have fear in you. People just don't wake up with fear. You waking up with fear because something is happening in your community. Something is happening to you, so you're full of fear. So what I had to do, when I had to get my community to listen, because some of the people in the community were against, you work at them jobs and some people are against you, but they didn't know I was already at other communities that know that's top notch. I know you lying on that one. And it began to put fear in them that they started to do things to make you look some type of way. Well, let's make her look like a criminal. And you wasn't aware. But you started to pay attention. Why is this person coming and asking me for money all the time? Then everybody looking at you saying some type of words that you're doing something bad. Then you start to, hold on, I ain't got no money for nobody. And then all of a sudden people ain't asking you for money. And the rumors that you heard was going on, you don't hear no more. But you see phones on you and cameras on you. Somebody trying to make you look some type of way. Take that somewhere in social media. But beware to know a lot of people. That's a blessing. Because somewhere they're going to be fine on social media. Or whatever they send. So, fear is more essential now because of social media. Anybody can put anything on social media and get away with it. But what I like about most of the positive things that I like about YouTube is everybody's teaching somebody something. I'm teaching you something. I was that girl. Not that young 14-year-old girl, but in the fear of an organization judging me. They judging me because they ain't like me. They ain't like how I look. They ain't like my hat, my scarf, nor my hair, nor the clothes I wear. And what that has to do with being professional. Because everybody have their own walks of life, their own lifestyle, their dress code. And we have a work dress code, and we have a hanging out dress code. But your lifestyle dress code is in between the hanging out. Your work is totally different. Depending, are they closely related? But that's where I was in fear. People was coming at me. Organizations started to say things about me. I heard people laughing, even white people, rich people. They come to your job and people do something to you and they laughing to you behind the counter. And you like, what's, and I don't expect that of you, if anything, not of you. But you needed that because you was the counselor who probably can't help them in that state. But the other places, they know me already. And y'all don't know me here because y'all protecting each other here. Because the state or wherever you live, they're going to watch out for each other. The organization's going to watch out for the organization. They didn't watch out for that little girl. That little girl found a way. And God allowed me to pick up that article. And if you look at my Facebook, I got a jersey. I think I'm going to put a picture of it where it says 14 on it. I think it's a Jaguars jersey. Because she was 14. And I had a lot going on when people in my state, Florida, was liking the Jaguars. Look it up. And football, they was helping the kids in the neighborhood. And there's a lot was going on with the Jaguars, snitching on people, going to New York and stuff like that. And I'm calling New York because my people in New York, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of interesting things going on, but I took that as a reminder. I wasn't in fear. I put on a suit of armor as a reminder of the fight I had to do for myself. Do you understand? And I was blessed because in the end, we talk about fear, and all the people talking about, oh, you come to our state, you don't like our team. Because I come to your state don't mean I have to like your team. I grew up with a team that I like. And people get mad at you and they treat you some type of way. That's a mental thing. They got a mental problem. Because I ain't got to like your team. You got to like your team, not me. And if they force you to like it, they got a mental issue. And you make sure you tell them that. I ain't got to like your team. Are you crazy? Something wrong with you? Get rid of the fear. And now, when I started wearing that shirt, that jersey, I was telling people about it. I was telling people about the girl as I was going through my situation. And then people was coming back. And people say, make sure you keep it live. I even got myself an advocate. Keep the story live so that we know what's going on over there, so we can let everybody know what's going on over here, so you don't have to be in fear. Because it could be fearful in your community when your community don't care about what's going on with everyone in the community. Even if you have issues with an organization. I know you've been there. I've been there. I had a discrimination case against an organization right here in Florida. Several cases. I'm still waiting on, but I had 2 car accidents. I don't know what happened. But God, that's part of the battle. That's part of the fear. The fear, I don't know what's happened, but I'm going to find out what happened. Because everybody's doing too much after the 2 car accidents. And then they try to put fear in me by touching me. Yeah, the church, they were touching. I'm looking at them. They were touching me, and hold on, I used to be a counselor. Hold on, y'all don't do that. That ain't normal. Because one of my clients came and tell me she walked down the street, and people started pinching her and touching her and saying things about her. We got to find out the issue. Those are the kind of clients I had. That's just like this. If my client tell me that somebody is messing with them in the street, I got to find out. Because I used to deal, that's the blessing you have. I used to deal with clients who used to work in the community. And I used to also be a visiting counselor. I used to have to go visit the community. So it's just, so sometimes God place you in a place like where I'm at right now with a true battle, but I'm not in fear. The fear that you have is the surprise of knowing that people or an organization could be that way. Because you put so much trust in the person who's telling you something that you don't even take the time to even know the story. I can't believe everybody in Florida, because nobody in Florida knows this person. They know that person, so who they going to go for? They're going to go for the person here. I can't believe what they said about this person in Georgia, because what? They don't live in Georgia. So how could I believe? But everybody seems to be on their side. There got to be some, there's a question. What's going on? Then you have to start what? You have to start erasing things, taking things away. And once you start to do that, guess what? You start to take away the fear. I've been there. But what I did was my research. That's how I knew about that girl. And people said, don't put things on social media. Trust me, it helped. I already knew the people. I already went to the people who are high ups. I left Florida. I went all the way to New York. I took a plane, I remember. After my 2 car accidents here. Because people were saying things about me, and I had 2 car accidents. I was passing out and everything. No, let's find out what really went on. And as an ex-counselor, isn't that what we're supposed to do? But I'm in a community now, and it's good. I'm bringing back what the community need by letting people know. And don't be out of fear and behind closed doors. Listen, it's a book. I can read the book outside. If I'm going to have problems with your behind closed doors, I can take this outside with God. Until now, BS and discover, because it is real on social media zeal.